going on, everybody? WGBM Bedlam here, bringing you another commentary. The gameplay you'll be watching is a sexy solo 100+ triple nuclear by WGBM Ownz. Make sure you guys go over there and check out his channel. There is some amazing gameplays on his channel. He has Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, and Call of Duty Ghosts. For whatever game that you like the most, he has it. He has some beast-ass Moabs, some beast-ass chem strikes, some nasty nuclears, some nasty nukes. So make sure you go by and check them out. And if you guys want to come by and check my channel out, I post gameplays and I do commentaries. So this is going to bring me into my commentary topic. This gameplay right here, actually, it's going to be about Black Ops 2. As we all know, Black Ops 2 is actually back up and running for everybody. Everybody's back on there, playing it again, having fun on it. Because we all know how Call of Duty Ghosts is. There is a lot of bullshit in Ghosts. But, you know, for playing Black Ops 2, there was a lot of BS in that game as well. If you think, like, there was Target Finder, LMGs, these little corner camping assholes would sit in the corner aiming down their Target Finder, aiming at you. I used to rage. Every time I got killed by a Target Finder, I would watch the kill cam. I'm like, that's a Target Finder, I know it. Boom, Target. I'm like, you mother. I'm like, oh. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to be a douchebag. So I threw a Target Finder on, I think, my LSAT. I love the LSAT. LSAT was one of my favorite LMGs in that game. Other than, I think, the hammer was nasty. But I threw it on the LSAT, and I tried to sit in the corner and camp with LMG, and I swear I have ADHD, and I couldn't sit still for more than 10 seconds. I started running around with it, and I kept getting killed, and I was like, how do people even use this shit? I'm like, I feel like it's such a dirtball noob. So that was the last time I ever tried to use a Target Finder. Never again, I promised myself. I'm like, why would I even use that? Like, you know, I felt like trying to be a douchebag, and I just couldn't be a douchebag. It wasn't in me. You know, there were so many good guns in this game. There was so much fun to this game. If there was no bullshit in this game could have been easily the best Call of Duty that they ever made. But David Vonderhaar had to start nerfing the PDW. Do you guys remember when the game first came out, how awesome that PDW was? That gun was probably the most amazing gun I've ever picked up and played with in any Call of Duty. Throw a silencer on that before they nerfed that thing. That gun was so OP. It just melted dudes. Like, literally melted dudes completely. You couldn't even say a word to it. Dude, dead. And then the MSMC. That gun was nasty as hell too. But of course, David Vonderhaar had to touch it. What did he do to these guns? He touched them. He touched them where you should not be touching stuff. It was unbelievable. The guns were crying. Why did he do that to them? They have hurt feelings, and that's why they are so shitty to this day. Because they are hurt. They are very butthurt. But every time he got his hands on a gun, he destroyed them. He touched them so much, they just died. They just got destroyed. And the FAL was one of my favorite guns. Still is. I love the FALs, the MK14s, the IE2 from Call of Duty Ghosts. I'm a big single shot FAL type of user. I love those type of guns. I love them. And the FAL was so OP when the game first came out. I remember I could go maybe 1-2 shots and dude's dead. No matter what. Anywhere on the map. 1-2 shots. No matter how far or how close you were. 1 or 2 shots. Kid's dead. Period. No matter what. There's no ends if or buts about it. And then people were using it in MLG, and I guess some of the optic guys were complaining about the FAL. People were using it. It was so OP, and Vonderhaar got his hands on it and nerfed it to, I don't know what he did to it, but he did something bad to it. And it wasn't the same after that, because I even noticed it. I'm like, the FAL's done. I'm like, it's not the same. It was still good to use. It still had the power, but it was different. There was something wrong with it. It lost something. Just like, I don't know if some of you guys noticed playing Call of Duty Ghosts, that the Honey Badger and the Remington and some of these ARs, they don't feel the same. Like, I always use the Honey Badger, the Remington, the AK, now the Maverick, the SC 2010, and sometimes the FAD. The FAD I've always liked the FAD, even since MW3. If those are the guns you guys use, let me know in the comment section below if you guys feel any difference. Like, they did a secret nerf on them. I know they're doing a buff on all the SMGs but the Ripper and the MTAR, and I'm fine with that. Like, the MTAR does not need no buffing. I think it needs a nerf. It's, you know, anybody can pick up that gun and use it. Honest to God, it's a known fact. Like, I've seen kids, like, with the worst gun skill and worst stats ever pick it up and just melt dudes. Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this gun is meant for anybody. It could be used by the worst player in the world and he'd do good. But anyways, and then Vonderhaar got his hands on all the snipers, the Ballista and I think the DSR, and he started nerfing those, and those started becoming more shit. And, you know, a lot of players like, oh my god, the snipers are getting nerfed. No, the snipers still figured out a way how to quick scope and do everything they were doing anyway. There's always a way around their little tricks they have with their sniping. But Vonderhaar even nerfed the Swarm. Like, I don't know if you guys know about that. Vonderhaar touched the Swarm pretty bad too. I don't know, like people were complaining like how OP it was killing you. Like instead of like nerfing it and making it like less powerful, why didn't they nerf it where it wouldn't kill you? Because you know how many times I've been killed off a nuclear because of my own swarm killing me? I can count numerous times. Numerous times. At least over 100 times. Over easily. It's unbelievable. Like they never ever even focused on that. People complained about that a lot too. I know that. And they didn't do nothing about it. And people complained about the target finder LMGs and they never ever touched those guns. They left them alone. I swear Call of Duty recently is leaning towards more the noobish players, letting them like, you know, become players like with the noobish ways of playing. Like look at the IEDs, look at the target finders, tracker sights, thermals. Like what's going on in the developers' minds to let these players play like this? They're not playing these games. They don't play these games. I know they don't. If any of them ever say they actually play their games and they sit down and enjoy it, that's a bunch of crack. That's a bunch of horse shit. I don't believe that for a second. If they ever say that, they're lying. They're just nothing but lying to you guys. Like look at the AN94. This gun, they didn't know anything about it. They didn't know to patch it or anything. But because everybody on YouTube, everybody was using this gun, they seen how good it was, they're like, you know what? Let's nerf the AN94. Since we nerfed the snipers, we gotta nerf one of the regular guns. Boom, AN94 was up for grabs. I guess granted they did buff the Type 25, and the Type 25 was one of my favorite guns in that game. You threw on stock, suppressor, and fast mags. That gun was a tank. It was a beast. The MTAR was, oh man, the MTAR, ooh yeah. The MTAR is one of my favorite guns in that game. Stock and suppressor, that gun was so nasty. The SWAT was a good gun too. I won't lie. I love 3-round burst guns, single shot guns. Those were the good guns. Like, and in that game, I swear, I had toughness on, I won my gunfights. But if I took toughness off, I'd lose gunfights. But then I seen people without toughness on, like just the noobish players, and they would win gunfights without toughness on. Like, how is that possible? Same thing in Call of Duty Ghosts. I always have to have focus on. If I don't, I lose gunfights. But then I see these noobish players don't have it on, and boom, they still win gunfights. I don't understand. Like, I remember one time I took focus off. Actually, no, I prestiged, and I didn't buy focus. I forgot to. And I was shooting someone. My gun was going in the air, and I was getting shot back. I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, what? I'm like, I got focus on. How am I going? What? I don't have focus. So then I put focus on. I shot someone. I was trying to kill someone, and they didn't die. I was shooting them, and their gun didn't go up in the air. Like, what the hell is that? Do these games know to cater to the noobish players now? Like, is it programmed to let the noobish players do okay or do somewhat semi-good? I'm not understanding how this game's working no more. Because all the bullcrap they've brought into these last Call of Duties, you know, support streaks, stuff like that. Like, granted, they didn't have support. We wouldn't get some crazy gameplays. But look, this commentary is coming to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed the sexy-ass gameplay by WGBM Ownz. Be sure to go check him out. Be sure to come by and check me out. Subscribe to We Go Beast Mode if you haven't already. Hit that like button because it does help our team get out there. For now, love, peace, and chicken grease.